in frustration level, but before we don't have the assessment, our secondary school teacher cannot provide the appropriate intervention because basically they don't have the knowledge and skills on how to teach early literacy. It's not within the curriculum of the secondary school teachers in the universities, in the pre-service. So that there is really a need for us to train a reading teacher for secondary, so that each of the secondary school will have a reading teacher who will address the needs of these learners who are really beginning or frustrations in terms of reading ability.
Yeah, but I would assume that by the time they reach grade 7, they should not be frustrated readers anymore.
It's a challenge.
No, they should be complex readers already. No, grade 7, your first year high school. So meaning you should be, your comprehension is deeper, your comprehension is wider. There should be no more frustrated readers by that level. But I like I said, no, I keep on repeating this. I saw that with my own eyes, that they reach junior high school and they're still non-readers or frustrated readers. So, but the feel eerie is something that I support. In fact, in Valenzuela, we use that, no, beginning and end of the year. And now that we have launched it all the way to grade 10, it's good to measure. No, at least we can detect them at the DepEd level, DepEd system, because when they go out of the system, it's much more difficult. Nagtatrabaho na sila, they have families already, they're doing other things. It's so hard for them to be attracted to the alternative learning system or other programs because they will be sacrificing their livelihoods in order to study. So that's why at the DepEd level, we should already address that. Well, call on LCC, headed by Mr. Mendoza. And I understand that you have seen this presentation. This is very important presentation. And I want to hear from LCC their comments on the presentation, and at the same time, what are they doing to address this problem of functional illiteracy?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. Here are the recommendations of the Literacy Coordinating Council on the initial results of the 2024 FLEMS. We have identified 6, and these are just some of the recommendations that the Secretariat prepared, and some of which were also gathered from the members of the Council. First is that the curriculum should be enhanced, and that targeting teaching strategies should be implemented. And these strategies should address the unique learning gaps, strengths, and contexts of different groups of learners, especially those who are struggling with reading and writing. The second recommendation is the implementation of remediation in terms of learning loss and gender-responsive interventions, which are very important and crucial at both the school level and community learning center levels, and address the widening educational gaps. The third is the foundational literacy programs that should be strengthened in early grades. No? This must be strengthened and introduce structured programs that build essential reading and writing skills among young learners at the beginning of their education. Fourth is on alternative learning system. It is recommended that the basic literacy program and accreditation and equivalency program are strengthened in order to ensure that both basic and functional literacy are developed among out-of-school youth and adults. And lastly, there's a need to sustain literacy efforts during transitions between key stages, meaning learners should continue receiving appropriate learning interventions as they move from one stage to another in order for the learners to be able to keep up with increasing literacy demands. Now, as for the initiatives of the Literacy Coordinating Councils and our ways forward, considering the results of these FLEMS, There is an ongoing research study that is being undertaken by the Council in partnership with the Philippine Normal University and other um, state universities engaged by PNU. And this is on the benchmarks for adult literacy competencies. We would like to determine what other forms or types of literacies are needed in order for a Filipino to be functionally literate. So initially, we are working already on we are done with the field testing, and we are currently working on the data analysis and consolidation, results of which will be presented to the council in the coming months. Next is the LCC localization program. This is one of the major programs of the council wherein we engage local government units so that they may support the DepEd, implement or support the DepEd and the learners of the basic education, as well as they are engaged in community-based literacy program implementation. The DepEd and the DLG has recently issued a joint memorandum circular that provides guidelines for LGUs to create their own local literacy councils so that they can do literacy mapping, they can address the literacy needs of their local communities, they can implement community-based literacy interventions, allocate resources, and provide support to schools and community learning centers. The LCC also intensifies its advocacy efforts to actively engage all stakeholders in the collective goal of increasing literacy rates, ensuring that all hands are on deck in terms of literacy development. Now, moving forward, we will institutionalize the literacy mapping in coordination with the Bureau of Alternative Education and the DILG to ensure that those that need literacy interventions at the barangay levels are located, identified, and provided with appropriate interventions. We also promote literacy innovation programs and share best practices by recognizing our LGUs, NGOs, and other stakeholders through our National Literacy Awards, where innovative literacy programs that address unique local challenges are recognized. And lastly, the LCC will continue on forging new alliances with civil society, non-government organizations, and the private sectors to mobilize additional resources and expertise for literacy promotion. Now, as mentioned earlier, the LCC will also, we will bring this up, all the things that were mentioned in this hearing, including the recommendations of the Honorable Chair, particularly cascading all these data to all local government units so that they will be able to be given technical assistance both by the DepEd in coming up with community-based literacy interventions that are effective using the current tools that we have at the LCC, as well as monitoring rubrics. Now, the next slides show the accomplishments of the Literacy Coordinating Councils. So we have, in our effort to work with local government units, we were able to recognize outstanding LGUs and NGOs through our National Literacy Awards. We do it once every 2 years. And this provides recognition to those community workers and local chief executives who are really serious in ensuring that the literacy needs of their local communities are addressed. We were able to provide LGUs with guidance on how to create, reconstitute, and strengthen their local councils through a manual that the council developed. We were able also to continue capacitating LGUs on LCC localization program and in the implementation of exemplary and effective community-based literacy programs. We also developed standards and rubrics for exemplary community-based literacy program and engagement as a result also of the research that we conducted ensuring that LGUs are provided with guidance